welcome back to the Marble Tower, and I just thought I'd give you guys a bit of an update because I've done a fair bit of stuff recently, and I'm about to delve into a few things that I haven't really tried yet, so I thought let's do a bit of an episode just with what's happened so far and we can go from there. So you may notice this looks a bit different. I've ripped out all the golden conductive pipe, the Buildcraft power conduit pipe, and replaced it with these thermal expansion redstone energy conduits, which look pretty neat. Meant I could clean up the floor here, so that looks quite good. And I've got these all over the place. These are the redstone energy cells that store the power. So I've got one in the workshop up here. I've got one. There's still one down in the sorting room that runs off the same power, the wind power on the roof, and there's one over at my new farm. Yes, I have a new farm. It grows trees here, but at the moment I've got that part turned off. So there's carrots and potatoes here. There's a bit of a vegetable farm. There's wheat over on that side. This side is actually configured to grow mushrooms, but I don't have any mycelium, which is the fungusy purple dirt stuff that it uses. So I've got to make some of that. I haven't bothered at this stage, but I'm going to have to because I need a heap of mushrooms for my Thorncraft research that I'm doing. So over there is my cow farm. And there's a few chickens running around in it because my golem over there, you can see him, little wooden golem there. Occasionally he likes walking into the cow farm to collect things. He sort of heads towards the base if I drop something or whatever, and yeah, he ends up letting chickens out. Yes, I found chickens, so my to-do board has been updated. I now have chickens. And that's the way I've automated the egg collection. I've just got a golem there, so every time the chickens drop an egg, he runs over, collects it, sticks it in the box. I thought of maybe turning that into an ender chest to feed the sorting system, and then all the eggs will go into the food box, but it hasn't really been urgent, so I haven't got on to that. So, what else have I done? Well, I've got a upgraded B room. It's less of a room now, it's more of a tank. There's a 1 block gap around which I can walk. It's a little bit squishy in here. I'm gonna have to move some of this stuff out of here, I think, make a new room somewhere else. But yeah, so I've got my bees up to some of the high level stuff, or higher level stuff. I've got diligence. What have I got? Where are my things? Down there. Okay, yeah. So we've got ancients, nobles, primevals. Yeah, that's probably most of it. And I think out in the field I've got cultivators working automatedly, and nobles, and I can't remember if I automated the third one because I started getting propolis from the diligent bees. So I've been using the propolis to automate a few of the apiaries, which means I don't have to worry about them so much. And I've started doing some tree breeding, so I've stuck some trees out in the apiary field, you can see out here. There's a few, I think there's 4 or 5 trees out there, you can't really see past those two. And I'm hoping to get to nuts. There's a few different varieties of nuts, there's walnuts and chestnuts and things, so and I've got a couple of trees out there have nuts as an inactive gene thing, so yeah, they should hopefully be able to breed an active tree that has nuts. I'll just see if I've got my treealizer on me. No, I don't. So I'll just grab it and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, treealizer. So if I look at one of these, and you can throw in a sapling of any sort. So it gives you some different traits, size, yield, and what have you. Where it'll grow, you can see this one, fruits, has apple, but it's crossed out because it doesn't actually support growing of fruit or something. Yeah, see there's no supports. If it can't actually support fruit, then whether or not it can grow it is useless. It won't actually do anything. So yeah, it has to be able to support it. See, if it could support fruit up here, then it could produce apples, this particular tree. But yeah, so I've got some of the trees out in the field have nuts in this one here, in the inactive. So it's not what it'll do now, but it does carry the gene. So if you can breed it with another tree that has that as well, then you can possibly get a tree that has it in the active. So that's why I've got them out there. So hopefully I can get nuts, and that'll allow me to get large quantities of seed oil, because at the moment I'm kind of running low on that. It is very easy to run out of, and I've been feeding it with I've been putting henequen seeds in here. I've got a little henequen plot down, there's one there which is kind of empty now, and there's one there. I was using a straw golem to pick it up, but stupidly I gave him a perception core, and then he could see all the he could actually detect growing plants all the way out to the river. So he was walking outside to collect reeds when I actually wanted them in here, so I got rid of him. I've just been doing it manually. And yeah, the henequen seeds give, I think, half a millibucket or something like that. So yeah, I mean they're better than normal seeds, but they're not great. So whereas nuts would be really good, you get lots out of nuts. So what else have I done? I've got this thing now. The majority of my power comes from the steam boiler. This is a high pressure steam boiler. I've got it at max temperature, 1000 degrees, so it doesn't use very much fuel at all. It is using fuel even like right now, even though the engines aren't turned on, to produce, just to stay hot basically. But when it's at max heat, it's at its most efficient. It doesn't use as much fuel, so that's pretty good. This is the steam coming out of here, going across into this array of industrial steam engines. I've got 3 rows of 6, which apparently isn't enough to run full ball. I could actually put in more. With them all running, with the amount of connections I've got here, which is 6, they seem to run at they max out at about 5.3 Minecraft joules per tick. So it's not their highest. They can do up to 8. So I could attach another bit of conduit up here. I think I'd probably get them a bit higher, but the problem is I don't have anything that uses the power quick enough, so these things fill up. And this is another energy cell here. You can see it going down. I've got a couple of machines that use power constantly, like the thermionic fabricator, which makes the electron, what are they called? Electron tubes? Electron tubes, yeah. So there's a few machines like that that use power over time, and because of that it just slowly goes down. And I do have a quarry which I've got turned off at the moment. This is this thing. This energy tesseract sends power to the quarry. It's the same setup I had before with the lava tesseract. I've just changed the frequency on the other end to take it from here instead. And yeah, even that doesn't draw enough, so to use it full time, I end up constantly having to come down here and use my manual cutoff. I made a little manual cutoff system, so what happens is lever turns on, this gate goes redstone signal, yes, so it turns on the red pipe wire comes over here to this gate goes, can the redstone energy cell store energy? Yes. Is the red pipe wire on for the manual cutoff? No, so I won't turn on. It needs both. So the idea is it will shut off if the energy cell gets full, or if I turn off the manual cutoff. And yeah, so it should actually turn off anyway if I've got it set up right. I think if I go like that, if I turn that on, so that'll turn the engines on, and if this fills up, then it should turn off on its own. So these will have to warm up. They've got to, yeah, okay. So they're getting pretty close to their maximum running at the moment anyway. They sort of max out. I think the highest I've seen them on is 5.3. Oh, there we go, maybe 5.4. Yeah, well anyway. So the idea is if this hits maximum, then it should, the circuit here should actually turn off the engines, because this shouldn't output unless both of these conditions are met. And it is going back up. Okay, good. So yeah, all of these do actually power the system. It's just a problem where they provide too much power. And I'll show you where this is coming from. So this is getting fuel out of here. This is a liquid tesseract. Taking fuel from a tank down further along in the basement into the firebox here, which is feeding this boiler. I'll just show you the... Here we go. So this is the fuel system. So I've got an oil rig out in the wilds. It's actually on the map. It's just to the south end of the map there, across the river. And what happens is these liquid tesseract, these are energy tesseracts on the top that power the refineries, which are the blocks under the bottom, the little tanky looking things. These guys. And this guy at the back is the liquid tesseract carrying the crude oil. You can see the black in the tube there. So he's feeding straight into the one in front of him, and he's got a little bit of pipe here that feeds the one next to him. And then out of the front of them, both of the refineries refined oil, and that's going into this iron tank. And the iron tank is pretty well full all the time. I've got way more oil than I'm actually using now that the boiler's at full temperature. And this is the output. This is going from here to the boiler. I could run a pipe, but yeah, it's just easier not to. I have to dig up half my base just to put a pipe in. And yeah, so this is down where the steel runs. These are the blast furnaces for the steel that you remember from last time, probably. I don't know. I don't remember if I put that on camera or not. But there's a pipe that by request pulls iron down here into the blast furnace and then turns it into steel and then sends it back. And yeah, I'll quickly show you that. Oh, yes, I have a village. I finally found a village, so I can finally get things that you can only get in villages, like proven frames for apiaries. I was having trouble finding carrots and potatoes and things. You can always get them in villages, so that was good. And I can now trade for Mistcraft pages and all sorts of things. So I've got a little book. That's a link book to the village. Unfortunately, it doesn't work from here because I'm in the overworld. So probably my next project will be making a little Nexus Mistcraft age where I can teleport to there and then teleport from there to the village. So use it like a quick sort of bus station relay point. That's the steel request system here. This pulls iron out of this chest via that retriever here, a full stack, and then sends it down to the blast furnace. These lights indicate whether it has iron in it or not, and fuel. So, and that's a fuel system request system as well. So it doesn't auto request fuel. I thought about doing that, but yeah, I wasn't sure if I would end up regretting that. So in case I wanted to pull iron out of it at some point. So yeah, and it just pulls creosote, not creosote, coal coke out of here. So yeah. What else? I've been trying out the new Fabricators. These are Cycraft crafting tools. They're a bit like an advanced, what are they called? Yeah, crafting table 2s and 3s and things that you can, there are mods for around. They're like basically an advanced crafting table or project table. But they do things, they've got redstone functionality, so you can have it craft automatically if you give them the stuff over here. This is their output as well as their input box. So you put in things that you want to make. Like say I want to make furnaces, I'll put in a whole lot of cobble, and then I give it the recipe over here, and it'll just make a whole lot of furnaces on its own. I don't have to tell it to do anything. Or I can change it to work on a redstone pulse. So I've got to press a button or something, and it'll happen. Or I can have it happen only when the redstone is turned off. On. So I've got to pull a lever, and it will run while it's on, and then I'll just turn the lever off again, and it will stop. Something like that. So yeah, they're kind of cool. I put a couple of those in just so I can make another low voltage solar, basically, because I was using more power than I was producing, which is no longer the case. I don't actually use a lot of power on the industrial craft grid, but the only thing that does use it is occasionally I'm using an extractor for rubber, or a compressor, and yeah, not very often. And I've also got the mass fabricator, so that uses pretty much all the power. So pretty much everything I make, I use there, but because it's set up to only use the power when it's got scrap or amplifier of some sort, then yeah, so it doesn't always run, which means that yeah, it'll now actually build up. Before it was, when it ran, it would just use all the power. So yeah, it's a bit better now with 2. I may end up building another 6 and then turning them into a medium voltage. I don't know. I'm not sure I'll really bother, but yeah, maybe down the track if I really need the power. And I don't know what else. I think that might be it. I had to move the quarry again. I didn't really want to. I want to build something more interesting than a quarry. Quarries are kind of boring for mining, but yeah, there's been so many other things to do that I just haven't gotten there. And mining machines are a little bit, I don't know, yeah, bland. I know you need them, and it's Minecraft, so you do need to mine. But there's so many other things that I've just been working on. It's like, yeah, like rewiring the whole workshop took, I don't know, ages, and lots of bee stuff. And I've now got this big tank, so I'm going to be sort of focused on filling that with liquid DNA for bees, and probably moving this whole thing. I'm thinking about putting a room underneath the apiaries, down in this big dirt pile, and just putting all the like the centrifuge and stuff like that down there, and the storage and everything, so that can be, like the automated process stuff for the product from the bees. And then over here could be just the machines for the like the inoculator and the things to actually working with the bees themselves. Yeah, that might save space. And I could move this seed oil squeezer probably downstairs where these are, where the Henneken plots are, because I don't really need it up here. And yeah, that would be probably the next thing. I'll show you. I probably didn't show you the farm, did I? So down here, this is the energy cell that this feeds off the other one in the steam boiler room, and it all it does is feed the farm. It's way more energy than it needs, but I figured that if anything happens to the steam boiler room, like the engines explode or something like that, then I've got energy here. The farm will keep running. It's a constant. It'll be a constant in a world of chaos. So this is input. This is stuff going into the farm, and this is output. And it's the mushrooms obviously don't get used because I need the mycelium, but the rest of the stuff is fairly constant. Stuff that comes out is actually feeding out of the bottom of this square. This is the like the item block that so you can input and output items from this. But the restriction was it would only automatically do it if it was underneath. So below this block is pipe, and it feeds up into the bottom of that block. And going out of it is all this stuff. So occasionally you get seeds, potatoes, mushrooms when I have it running, carrots, wheat, sand from the tree farm, logs, and apples, because I've been using the apple oaks. And I've got saplings as well. So saplings go that way to the red, and that goes up there. And everything else at the moment goes into the chest. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of holding off on turning that into an ending chest and feeding the sorting system. I probably will eventually, but yeah, at the moment I don't really need to. I mean, yeah, it's going to fill up, but I don't need the food all that often. So this is where the saplings go. They feed into fermenters, and I've got like a secondary fuel system building. This is biofuel, so fermenters make biomass. They're not at the moment because there are no saplings, but yeah, when the tree farm's running they'll probably get some. And the stills turn that biomass into biofuel when they have enough. I think they've got to be up to a unit there before they can actually do anything with it. They're taking fuel from down there, down under from the steam room, and yeah, feeding this. This is a Zycraft tank, same as what's in the B room, and they're really cool actually. The way they work is just awesome, and I'm wishing I had one of these when I did the milk power video, because they would have actually worked. I think the iron tank wasn't built for it, but these things you could actually feed. I think you can do what I wanted. You can actually feed buckets of milk and have liquid come out, so it would have actually done the job, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, I think that's everything. Pretty sure. So I hope your day is going well, and I'll probably see you next time, hopefully. Yeah. Have a good day.